What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be everything that you can expect before you move to Bali. I want to break down some of the things that are not so hot about living all the way here in Bali, Indonesia. I know a lot of people watched my Why I Moved to Bali video. If you haven't watched that, make sure you check it out. So I wanted to follow up with some of the cons of living here in Bali because, baby, I need to prepare you guys for some of the things that you can expect when you come over here, so you're not coming over here expecting one thing and then getting the other. I know a lot of people mentioned that they wanted to move to Bali or just visit Bali, so this video is perfect for you. I want to give you guys some essential things. I'm going to break it down into 5 things that I'm not so sure about when it comes to living in Bali, Indonesia. 5 things that I'm not okay with, okay? So yeah, let's get into that. But before I do, make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe, you smash that like button, okay guys? Alright guys, so I have my trusted fan with me because it is hot, okay? It's hot. And I don't want to be a sweat bucket in this video, so don't mind me if I'm fanning myself. Let's get into point number 1, which is bugs, okay? Bali is a tropical island, and so you're gonna get bugs. It's unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. I have stayed in over 35 villas on this island, and let me tell you, no matter how nice that villa is, you're gonna get bugs and you're gonna get geckos. So there's nothing you can do. It just comes with the island. And yeah, I mean, I will never forget the first time I moved to Bali. The first time I visited Bali, actually, and I was in Bali by myself that first night, and I was sleeping and I heard and I was like, what is that? I wasn't sure. I thought it was a monkey. I thought it was some crazy animal coming to bite me. I was so scared. After that, I didn't sleep all night because I was so scared, and all throughout the night that little thing was doing the Come to find out, guys, it was actually a gecko. They're completely harmless, I think. I hope they're harmless. And you're gonna find them wherever you are in Bali. It just comes with the territory. So just get used to it. And that's something that I've done, is I've literally just gotten used to it. Now I hear it, I'm like, okay, talk your talk. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the geckos here, they really just eat bugs and they roam around. They don't really interact with humans, I hope. So yeah, I mean, there's gonna be bugs. Aside from the geckos, there's gonna be these like round dung, I don't know, they're flying things. I don't know the name to call these things, but they're like these round big bugs that fly. There's gonna be flies, there's gonna be mosquitoes. So what you want to do is make sure you're investing in some insect repellent, because you don't want to be chowed while you're over here. Invest in some insect repellents. That will be your best friend. And also make sure that you're closing your doors, especially at night. Close the doors as much as possible. Don't leave doors open, don't leave windows open so bugs don't come into your space. Another thing that I would suggest is that you make sure you are staying in a villa that is somewhat protected, and I'm gonna get into that in my next point, because a lot of us, we like to choose villas that are so beautiful and just Instagrammable, and we forget about practicality and the bugs. So if you are someone who doesn't like little things, then make sure that you are picking a villa that is a little bit somewhat closed, so that you avoid the bug situation as much as possible. And then my last tip for avoiding bugs as much as possible is make sure you don't leave food lying around. Like, make sure you're not leaving like little crumbs here and there so you don't get ants. Make sure that you're packing up all your food and throwing it out once you're done, and so that way you avoid the bug situation, because it can get a little crazy. Okay, let's get into the next point. All right guys, so point number 2 is you want to find the right villa, and sometimes this can be really hard. There is no shortage of villas and properties and hostels and whatever you call it to stay in here in Bali, but The problem is finding the right one. And what you want to be thinking about is fast Wi-Fi, closed facilities. And one thing I just have to say about Bali, which I will never understand, is most of the villas have outdoor living spaces and most of them have outdoor kitchens, which is crazy seeing that there are so many bugs here all the time. I'm not sure why that is, but I mean, I love it during the day and I hate it at night because of the bugs, and sometimes it's uncomfortable to sit outside if you're just gonna be eaten at. I don't want to scare you guys, but it's the reality. Like, I'm sitting outside, I'm on my laptop, and I'm like, what is that? And so I want you guys to be prepared. Again, that instant propellant, but make sure you try and find a villa that is somewhat closed off. So find an indoor kitchen or find an indoor living space villa, because it really does come in handy when you don't want to be outside anymore and you want to chill indoors and you just want to be comfortable. Then it's always a great option to have a villa like that. Whereas having a villa that only has the outdoor living space and the outdoor kitchen, when you kind of want to get away from the outdoors, you don't really have much option aside from your bedroom. So this is something that I always think about whenever we are planning trips for my company. If you don't know, I have a travel company called Chidiashley Travels. We curate bucket list experiences all over the world, from Bali and beyond. If you haven't checked that out, check down below in the description box below, because I'm going to be linking some of our amazing travel deals, and you can also plan a trip based on your budget and your own dates. And we have payment plans available, which is amazing. So definitely check that out if you want me to curate an amazing experience for you. Back to the video. So yeah, my second point is it's kind of difficult sometimes to find a practical villa, and a lot of times we book villas based on just how beautiful they are, how picturesque they are, and then we forget the realities. When reality sets in, we forget about that. So I want you guys to be thinking about that. Don't just go for those outdoor bathrooms that always look so good to take pictures in. If you're like me and you like to go pee in the middle of the night and you're stuck going to go pee in an outdoor bathroom, which can kind of be scary sometimes. So yeah, I mean, that's my second thing, is the villa situation. Now let's move on to the third thing. All right, guys, let's get into point number 3, which is dating and men. I know a lot of you guys asked me about that in my previous videos, and a lot of comments about what is dating like. If I come to Bali single, am I gonna leave with a boo? And I'm here to tell you that the dating pool is limited, okay? So it's gonna be a struggle, because you're gonna find that a lot of the good-looking men who come to Bali are here as tourists. So if you're not really interested in long distance, it makes it difficult because you're limited to just the community over here, which you can find some gems, but sometimes a lot of people are already here with their partners, and so it's more difficult to find a partner to date. You can find and meet people on Tinder. Tinder is on and poppin' in Bali. I am not single. So, crazy story, I actually met my boyfriend here in Bali last year in December, so it's been exactly a year since we met. I was here living solo. He was traveling and visiting Bali solo, and we got to talking, we got to dating, and Bali is the perfect date place to go on dates, okay? Because the dates are super cheap and there's so much that you can do. It's so much fun. We went surfing, checked out some waterfalls, we went, you know, just riding around on scooters, amazing places to eat. So it was literally a fairy tale. I'm not even gonna lie, it was a fairy tale, and we have been stuck together ever since. So yeah, you can end up finding some gems, and I'm so thankful that I did, because it was a struggle before, and I'm so glad I'm off the streets. But yeah, you can end up finding some gems. It just takes a lot of finding. Get on Tinder, don't be shy, go out, meet people, join different Facebook groups, and Mr. Right will come your way. I hope so. All right, so let's get into tip number 4. All right, guys, so my number 4 thing about Bali, which is a little bit is the crackhead dogs. And when I say crackhead dogs, I'm really just referring to the stray dogs that are just so annoying sometimes. There are a lot of stray dogs here in Bali, and they tend to roam around. They love just sitting in the middle of the street, which is crazy. Like, are you not scared for your life? And it's just really crazy, and sometimes they like try to come super close, and I hate that. So that's another thing. It's a super small thing, but it's a thing nonetheless. You're gonna find a lot of stray dogs here. It just comes with it. They're not aggressive. Well, I've never encountered any that are super aggressive. They just like to roam around, and they can kind of be annoying sometimes. Just avoid. And if you actually like walk towards them, they'll actually go away. So that's my tip for that is the crackhead dogs. If you encounter them, just kind of be a little bit like bold, and they will get out of your way. Now let's move on to my next thing about living here in Bali that is a little bit Alright, so this next one is kind of a biggie, and it's something that I want to put on your radar, which is the Wi-Fi situation. Wi-Fi here is really either a hit or a miss, and I want to make sure that when you guys are planning on coming here, and if you're planning on moving here, especially if you work online like me, you want to make sure that you're covered with good Wi-Fi and fast Wi-Fi. And so always check and make sure, ask the villa, what is the Wi-Fi situation like? Is the Wi-Fi fast? How fast is it? Ask those questions, because Wi-Fi here can really be a hit or a miss. Or you can also sign up for a co-working space, which always has good and fast Wi-Fi. My favorite co-working space is Tropical Nomad Canggu, but there's so many co-working spaces, and if you don't want to pay for a co-working space, you can always find a good cafe that has fast Wi-Fi. But again, sometimes the Wi-Fi situation in the villas is not that great, and especially if you are staying in more rural parts of Bali, the Wi-Fi situation can be quite slow. So make sure that you're checking that out, and also try and get a SIM card if you're coming here and you want quick data on your phone. The data can also be pretty fast if you buy a SIM card and purchase some data on your phone. But Wi-Fi, it can be a bit of a problem. All right, let's go on to the next tip, and this will be my last one, is that it is difficult to find a lot of products and just personal items and things that I might need here, especially being a black woman. Of course, you know, I have to take care of my hair, and it's been difficult and it's been a struggle. One, to find products like edge control or just hair care products, but two, also getting my hair done is a struggle here. Like, for the first few months that I lived in Bali, I actually used to fly all the way to Malaysia to get my hair done and to get my hair braided. How crazy is that? Like, I would literally wake up in the morning, catch a 2 to 3 hour flight to Malaysia, get my hair braided, and then fly back to Bali. And that was just my routine, because I needed to get my hair done and I didn't know how to do my hair. I'm not one of those people that can watch a YouTube video and be like, all right, I got it down packed. So that was my situation. Fortunately, I was actually able to find someone here in Bali that does braid hair. Thank God. That saved me so much stress. Actually, as soon as I found him, I was like, I can actually live here long term. So yeah, it's difficult to just find like certain everyday things that we take for granted in Western world. It's a little bit more difficult. There's nothing crazy, like you can generally find most of the essentials, but it's just like some of the little things, especially if you're a black woman, or if you have like these little things that are very important to you. You want to make sure you just stock up before you come over here, so that you're not kind of running around not having it. Like, I remember when I lost my edge control and my hair was looking crazy, okay, for so long, and I usually will ask people when they're coming over here, like, hey, can you please buy this for me, or hey, could you bring that over when you come? So that's how I've been getting around that as well. But stock up on all your fave items. For the most part, if it's things like shower gel and just little things like that, you can get them here in Bali, no problem. But if it's just like little essentials, then you want to pick them up overseas. And when I say essentials, I just mean things like specific hair products, specific personal care products. Maybe it's you need like a lotion that does something for your skin that you might not find in Bali, then you want to get that and get that sorted and just stock up on that. So that is my number 5 thing, is just the difficulty to do certain things here, and just things that you have access to overseas that you're just not gonna have the same access to. And you can definitely find alternatives, and that's something that I've done. Like, I realized that because I'm living abroad, I'm not gonna always have some of the things that I had before, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But there's just some things that I'm like, I need them, I really need them. But yeah, so that is my number 5 thing. I'm over here swinging, sorry guys. That's my number 5 thing, and 5 things to look out for if you're moving to Bali. And I just want to say, listen, I love Bali so much, but of course I want to put these things on your radar so you can plan your stay properly and so that you can make the most of your experience here in Bali. 3 bonus things. I want to answer some of the frequently asked questions that I get a lot here. One is, what is it like living here in Bali as a solo traveler? It is great. I mean, I honestly feel very safe living here. I've always felt safe since I moved here. I'm very comfortable being alone. I've traveled extensively by myself, but if you're someone who hasn't really traveled extensively solo, I think that this is a great place to start. There's such a big community. I'm part of the Canggu Nomad Girls Facebook group, and there are, I believe, almost 6,000 expat ladies that live in Bali and share their experiences, share tips, have meetups. So there is so much support that you have, and you have a lot of resources as well. So you don't really feel alone, and there's so many ways that you can make friends, so you're never really alone like that. And yeah, I mean, I love Bali for solo travel. I highly recommend it. If you're a beginner solo traveler, I would say take the plunge, just do it. You're not gonna, there's not a lot in terms of like huge safety issues that I've experienced here. I've never felt uncomfortable. I've never felt threatened in any way. I also want to touch on the racism that I've gotten a lot of questions about. What is the racism situation like here? Honestly, I have never experienced that here. I have generally experienced the opposite, which is people just being absolutely so friendly, so nice to me, so loving, so caring. And that's one of the reasons why I love being here and why I see myself staying here long term, is just because the people here in Bali are just so incredible. I never get like looks. I never feel like I stand out too much. Yeah, I mean, I've always gotten people just being super loving and friendly and warm to me, and so many of the locals here are just so embracing. They're always willing to help, and they're just nice. They're just nice people. So racism, if that's something that you're worried about, listen, you might as well be worried about that overseas, because let me just tell you, the racism that you're gonna experience in some other places is gonna be a lot, okay? Versus here in Bali, no one really cares about that stuff. I mean, you're gonna get people that do, but the general sense that I get is that people are just warm and people are very friendly. So yeah, that's my experience. I don't know about anyone else's. I can only speak from my perspective on that one. And then yeah, I think those are the main things that I get asked. The last one I get asked is, does my family miss me, and how do my parents feel about me living all the way in Bali by myself? This is a crazy one, because you know what? I moved to Bali without telling my parents I was moving. I actually just FaceTimed them after I had moved, and I was like, by the way, I live in Bali now. So they couldn't say anything crazy, and so they couldn't try to stop me, because you know, sometimes parents like to put their own fears on you. But my parents, since then, they've been so you know, they really have been so understanding of why I want to live here and why I love living here. And my parents have you know, expressed wanting to come and visit me over here, and I'm always FaceTiming them and showing them what my day-to-day is like. I'm always FaceTiming my mom when I'm on the back of a scooter and she's always like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, I mean, my parents are super understanding of it, and there's really no big deal of me living here as long as I'm happy, and that's how it should be. Do something that makes you feel happy. Go somewhere where you feel whole, and where you feel excited to just be alive and to live life. And that's just my tip on that. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe, support this channel, and join the family, guys. And I'll see you guys in my next video because I have a lot of good content coming for you guys and I'm super excited about it. Follow me on Instagram at Chidiashley, and also check out my business at Chidiashley Travels, www.chidiashleytravels.com. If you want a curated trip, we actually have amazing travel deals to Bali at about $900 per person. You can get private villa, chef-made meals, airport transfers, activities, and so much more. So definitely check that out if you're planning a trip to Bali anytime soon. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.